Content. It's the main reason we've survived as a species for this long. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what's the best piece of content ever made? Today, I want to tell you the inspiring true story about a young visionary influencer who set out to do the greatest piece of content ever made. In order to know that their content was truly the best, they had to make sure it met 3 key criteria. 1, it had to be the perfect length. Otherwise, no one would watch it. After thinking it over for a really long time, they decided the perfect length for their masterpiece would be 15 seconds. Most people have 15 seconds to spare, even if they're really busy. So number 2, it has to speak to our current cultural moment of empowering women. Since Mother's Day was coming up, they decided to have their video focus on moms. This way, moms across the world could feel empowered by their content. And this might also count as a Mother's Day gift for their mom and stepmom if they spun it right. So this had the potential to be a real win-win step win. And number 3, it had to appeal to the most cutting-edge demographic, the gamers. As a prolific gamer themselves, they knew right away what type of content gamers respond to more than anything else. Tier lists. If there's a list of items that's not separated into tiers, you better believe that the gamers wouldn't be happy until it was separated into tiers. It quickly became obvious that if anyone wanted to make the single best piece of content imaginable, it could really only be one thing: a viral video of a tier list of video game moms, released on Mother's Day. It would also feature an original song so that people on TikTok could make duets of the video. So actually, that was another key criteria. But there was just one problem. If content with a tier list were to be the best, then the tier list itself had to be mathematically perfect. So they had no choice but to figure out how to develop their own patented mathematical formula to empirically prove which moms belonged in which tiers. This would require a lot of data, so they put on their best job interview attire and took to the streets of Nashville, Tennessee, to see how the diverse sample population of Music City felt about moms. How many moms do you have?
I have one mom as well.
I'd say I have about 3 now.
5.
You have 5 mothers, and you have 1.
Yeah.
1.
You have 1? You also have 1. Do you think that's the ideal number of moms?
I don't really know if there's an ideal number of moms.
1 should be sufficient, but times there's problems, you can't do it.
Like what types of problems would prevent 1 from being sufficient?
Divorce?
Divorce?
I don't think there's an ideal number.
There's not an ideal number?
No.
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier?
I think so.
What is your favorite thing about your mom?
Oh, food.
They care for us?
Her baking. She can bake.
She's good at baking?
She's good at baking. Loving towards others.
Being loving towards others.
Child how to tie a tie.
Do you think that there's like a percentage of people that don't know how to tie ties very well?
Out of everybody around right here, like a third don't know how to tie ties.
Are you saying?
Yeah.
You're saying me?
I don't think yours is tied very well.
What do you... I've just got this list here of famous moms throughout history. Just in a couple words, tell me your thoughts on these moms. Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama was a good lady.
Good lady?
I say that, yeah. You know, first lady was nice, not too bad.
More mother? She's a rap artist.
I don't know.
Marianne Robinson. She was John Wayne Gacy's mom. Harriet Tubman.
Wish you was my mom.
Amazing.
In what way?
Trailblazer.
What trails did she blaze? Cooking Mama?
Oh my God.
The best mama
Best
out
one.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about the DS game?
Yeah.
I love her, dude. I wish mine could right up.
What do you imagine the co-parenting relationship between Harriet Tubman and Cooking Mama would look like? Donna Bethard, that's my mom.
Good mom.
Why do you say that?
The way you stand, the way you dress.
You think I dress well?
Yes, you just very professional.
Do you have any thoughts on my stepmom?
Uh-oh. Do you?
I like her.
Oh, okay.
And just like that, they got what they needed. They spent hours, maybe even days in front of their whiteboard, practicing really good equations and honing their craft until, out of nowhere, it hit them. The most perfect math equation for quantifying mom value that had ever been calculated before. After they found a few lists of video game moms online, there was only one thing left to do: make the greatest piece of content of all time and release it to the world on the greatest national holiday of all time, Mother's Day. The video was a runaway success, shattering every major record for viral videos. They received countless DMs from some of the biggest ad agencies in the business. They were on top of the world, and it seemed like nothing bad would ever happen to them again. But then, tragedy struck. Several video game moms were unhappy with their rankings and began calling them, demanding that they issue a correction, or worse, take the video down. Cooking Mama, The Sims Mom, Rosalina, and Mother 3, who had all been longtime friends, called the latest internet sensation to express their discontent. It wasn't long after that mean-spirited trolls dug up old tweets of theirs that had been critical of moms. They had become a pariah. Like Thanos ripping the world in half, they were canceled at the snap of a fingers. Nothing made sense anymore. They were on top of the world thanks to their genius, but when the video game moms didn't get their way, they threw them away like old garbage. The price they paid for the best piece of content in human history was too great to bear. Everything felt hopeless. That was, until they saw a truly inspirational post on their timeline. They realized that this experience wasn't a colossal failure. It was an origin story for a powerful, intellectual force to be reckoned with. They thought the only way they could be happy would be to have the unconditional love of millions of people around the world. But now that they were being vilified for making content that could never be topped in a million years, society had made it clear that they wanted to silence the truth tellers who did the math about the moms from games. They knew their true calling. They had to become the Ricky Gervais for gamers. The world had no idea what they had just created. No one was prepared for the intellectual tidal wave of big thoughts that was about to crash down on them and flood their cities with new opinions that had never been thought of before. But you may still be wondering, did all of this really happen? Who is this gorgeous rogue influencer that you've been talking about? Well, that gorgeous rogue influencer was actually me, the narrator, the entire time. This is my incredible true story. Happy Mother's Day.